Hey everyone, welcome to another review here on Go Mango. No! Alright guys, as always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
the Cinder Blaze.
And and we... Sorry, we have a special guest!
I don't know if you wanted me to introduce myself, I don't know.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's just my brain usually leaves that space open for the person to introduce themselves, but I did say that I would do it. That's my bad, that's on me. But anyway,
it's all good.
Yeah, we are here to review episode 2 of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, and I thought, you know what? I do appreciate a lot of the, as I said with episode 1, the world building going on here. It's a lot of fun. But I suppose the main draw of this episode is Gaon and how he fits in with the crew. And I think he's okay. He's not my favorite. He's a little strange.
Definitely.
I love that racist cat. Oh my god. That was the highlight of the episode for me.
I said it during the reaction. I am a big fan of his voice actor. And that automatically endeared me to the character. But the fact that he just doesn't like his own kind, or any machines apparently, is just so funny.
It is, yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, he's a good comedic character, but like, he gets weirdly like touchy with creatures and people, and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know, I kind of think of him as like a reverse furry, you know? Like, she actually is like the anime / other thing, but like, he's just so in love with the other part, you know? Like,
sure.
And just like the way he just kind of like his interactions with Juron were just like,
God, they were so good. All right, team, all together. Oh no, not your hand.
No, not your hand. When the character descriptions came out for the Rangers, and they said that he viewed Kaito as something like a pet, I had no idea how they were gonna like visualize that or convey that on screen, and they definitely do. And so that's cool. It is definitely weird. I also, though, I dig how I didn't get it as much with I love Drew as character. I didn't get as much Ranger, like, in his character type. I got more Momotaros. I think that's the kind of character that they're building with him. With Gowon, I did get a little bit of what Gao Ranger was, like, supposed to be about, which is, like, we're fighting for the animals, but they've done it to like the level of it's almost parody, and I like that. So that's kind of fun. I guess you could say with Juron, he's an old man, and all the Jew Ranger are old, but that's a stretch. So
yeah. Oh, hey, don't you remember the classic episodes of Jew Ranger where they always just wanted to party?
Party.
I don't know. Maybe just like so old, his personality decayed, just being old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
dug it.
But he serves as a great, I guess, straight man to the zaniness of Gaon, and it's really fun that those two get paired together. Like, even I don't remember his name, but Zenkaiser had to like close them back up together to have them. Yeah.
You're doing this. I mean, again, I don't want to like relate everything to Den-O, but it does have a lot of Den-O vibes to it, and it does feel like Momotaros and Urotaros is back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's, you know, obviously very purposeful, and on top of that, you know, when you think about Den-O, you easily think about not just Den-O himself, but Momotaros, Kintaros, Urotaros, and Ryutaros. Like, that is 5 people that you remember as Den-O. When you think of Sentai, sure, you know, there are typically 5 people in the suits, but like, you get the standout 1 or 2 characters that like immediately come to mind. But here, I feel like they're really doing a good job at building out memorable characters. Like, we're fans. it's not to say that other characters aren't memorable to us, but like these are immediately recognizable.
Yeah, and it helps that they're gonna have an episode to themselves to really stand out before the team is a team, which is nice.
Yeah. You're also getting like little snippets of Blue, like as we're kind of like piecing that together. So by the time we wait for him, we already kind of like have a clue about what he is.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious how he gets out of Toji Tendo. Like, how does he wind up? Majin, like it shows her in her fortune teller stand, and I can kind of already picture how they're gonna work her into the team. But Rune, I'm really curious.
I'm sure it's just a matter of they shot the dude out of the sky and now he's on the floor. Do you want a gun?
By the way, the effectiveness of the running gags over just 2 episodes is so good. I could watch a member of the... I hope that it's just the way that they transform is just somebody headshots a minion before every transformation scene. It's so funny. It's dark, but it's so funny. And then also Rune has gotten 2 episodes now of Rune getting shot by a general because he is doing more than his cleaning job. I mean, it's messed up. It's like there's a whole like class system going on in the show too.
Yeah.
And they're able to do it where like it works as that, but then it also can also be a joke that's funny, and that for me that's hard to do as a like tonally.
Yeah.
That's what makes me a Sentai fan, I think, is that they're allowed to take those really kind of darker themes and play with them in a way that's not so dark.
That's true. Alex touched on this in the watch along, and it sort of relates to what you said.
Yeah.
I guess maybe not real. I don't know. But like immediately the racism was just over.
It's gone. Yeah. So I took it. I mean, absolutely. It's a fantastic point that they probably should have sat on that a little bit longer. I think. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just one of those things that they decided we could sit on that, but we were putting that kind of characterization into Gowon himself. So is it worth? You know, I think they could probably still revisit it, like where some humans are still afraid of Kikanoids. I think they just had to frame it with this episode because Kikanoids were immune to the mushrooms.
Right.
I think it would have been weird if the humans weren't interacting with the Kikanoids, because then you wouldn't see the humans kind of taking the effect and the Kikanoids not. Yeah. But I agree with Alex a lot. I think it was too easily resolved. But I'm thinking it probably comes back at some point.
Yeah, and honestly, for this episode, it would have fit so well. Like, if anything to, like, motivate Gowon to, like, join the team, it's, like, literally all the humans turning on him. And if Zenkaiger's, or if Kaito's the only one who would actually accept him, like, they would just kind of, like, you know, it would basically, like, kind of force the two together. Maybe they just want, like, a different kind of, like, dynamic, because I think that if something like that did happen, it would kind of, like, force him to join the team a lot earlier than they wanted to at the pace of, like, the episode.
Yeah.
And they could easily just shelve this later, because it's not like, you know, it's not like they hated the Kikanoids like all the time. You know, like we don't really see it, and it's like a Sentai, so I don't really expect, you know, like this sort of, like this deep dive on a racism or anything like that.
And I guess part of it too, and they do touch on it, the fact that people saw them be the Toji Chendo from last time.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of amped about that. So I think it's public knowledge that Kaito and Jiran beat the monster from last time. And then I guess they just wanted it to take a more comedic turn, because they turned that into everybody's really amped about Zenkaiger to nobody wants to fight the Toji Chendo, and we're really okay with mushrooms growing out of our heads.
I hate the general public of this show. They're so dumb.
So as someone who's lived in Japan, I found that very, very funny, and who works with Japanese people. I found that very funny because the whole thing over there is to be ironically, to be a gear, like a cog in the machine. And that attitude of, it's not really bothering us, so we should probably just ignore it or accept it, is something I could see Japanese people doing. But they played it as a joke. They played it as like, it's fine. We have mushrooms growing out of our heads now. And when I was watching it, like, for the first time, I was like, that's the stupidest way to react to something, but also really realistic to how people over there would react to the situation after, like, a couple days. Because, again, the mushroom was just there.
Yeah.
It was funny, and it also set up the whole... I don't know, I'm really digging the villains and how they're kind of also comedic, but kind of also really, really evil. Like,
yeah,
they're not... They're bad. They're bad dudes. There's no, like... You know, they're playing... Especially... and the villain names are really hard. But Ijiride, who's the guy that we dealt with in this episode, the scientist, he's shady. He's got a lot of shady stuff going on, and he's still able to do that with like comedic timing, which is nice. But I think, there's some shady stuff going on with him. I think he knows Kaito's parents.
Yeah. What a coincidence that those are gears. That has no relation to what I'm doing.
Yeah. I totally made these myself and don't know anybody else who would have helped me make these gears. Goodbye. I'm out.
When he figures out that the gears do something mid-episode, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be fun. If the villain's figuring it out with us, it's almost like Saber.
The moment, like, the dude stepped on it, all he did was like, oh! It's so good.
And then he just made up like the most BS explanation for it, as if he thought of it like, oh, of course, the mushroom powers are running wild. I completely understand what's going on. I was dying. Did you guys notice, and maybe it's just a stylistic thing, when Juron was explaining to Kaito and his grandmother and Seichan kind of the hierarchy of the Toji Tendo and how they're like, you know, ruling over the other Kikonoids. Did you notice that Gege wasn't there? The whole Seichan, the purple bird.
Oh. No.
Because he's in the king's shoulder all the time, right? And in that shot where you would think they would show each villain, he wasn't there. And I'm wondering if he wasn't there because they just didn't want to put him there, or because Juron hasn't seen him before.
Yeah.
Like, is he like a new addition to the bad guys? Because again, the fact that they made an evil version of Kaito's bird points to the parents being somewhat involved with the gears, with him. So I don't know. I picked that out, and I thought that was interesting. And I hope it's something. I hope it's not just a random, like, they didn't want to animate another character in the flashback.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably it, like, if I were to, like, make a guess, because it seems a bit unnecessary. But, yeah, I think the whole parallels between the gears on both sides might allude something to that, and I think it might be the reason why they can't take over this world. Like, maybe the gears are from this world, so you can't just, like, absorb this world in one of the gears that it came from. So, like,
that's definitely a good theory. I was wondering if maybe his parents set up some kind of, like, force field or kill switch or something, that because their son is on this Earth, if it ever got to this Earth, they had, like, the plan with Seichan to form the Zenkaiger, and it would stop the gear from swallowing the world. But that's true too. If the gears can't take over this Earth because they're from this Earth, that would make actually a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently you can't use the stones to destroy the stones.
Avengers.
Yeah. But alright. I feel like we touched on most things, and we have a lot of comments, so even if we did didn't touch on something, I'm sure they'll jog our memory.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hop on into the comments that you guys left on the watch along. There were plenty, so thank you so much for that. The first one comes from Buggo Productions TV, who says Jura Gawon is the best thing in this episode. Yes. It's great. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty great.
So clue me in. What is the baseball thing about? Why did we go there?
So I'm assuming, and this is just me guessing, Go Ranger, for whatever reason, is always like shown with Baseball Common, who's one of the monsters in Go Ranger.
Right.
And you've seen him because they brought him out. He's just like baseball head, baseball ball head. So my thought is because Juragawon, even though it has nothing to do with Go Ranger itself, because Kaito has to do with Go Ranger, and the Go Ranger singers sing the theme song for Juragawon, they're associating that mode with Go Ranger, and that made them think of baseball.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I can really think of it. I know each robot, at least each Zenkaiger, is supposed to have a different sport theme, like inspiration. So like Vrumajin, which is the blue and pink Zenkaiger, is going to be wrestling or boxing, something like that. So I think each robot will have some sort of sport influence.
Okay.
I mean, Gao Ranger did it a little bit too with soccer and pool, but this is very like, this feels more direct and also more random because it's just kind of going weird. Yeah. I mean, it might also be something like the Olympics are this year, so they might be trying to play into that a little bit too. But
I feel like every year there's a rumor that's like, oh hey, we're finally getting an Olympic sport-based
the sports thing. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen, honestly. Yeah. And I'm the person who posts the rumors. I don't. It's tough. If you think about it, it's tough. Like the selling toys for sports, it's just tough.
I don't think it's just balls, it works on its own. You can get that anywhere.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Our next comment comes from it's Gaim to Duel. I assume this is Johnny Hendricks, who says, "This show is so much fun. I'm also appreciating the slow burn. It keeps the pace more natural instead of them feeling the need of introducing all the characters in the first episode." Yes, I agree.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, it's been working. Yeah. I still love how, our main characters are still out and about elsewhere. We can still find them. It's so well paced. It's refreshing that it's this well paced. I don't think in recent memory there's been such a well paced first episode.
No. Maybe Kaku Ranger has a similar feel to it for the first two episodes. Where you're kind of getting, but even then it throws you're introduced to 3 Rangers in the first episode. This is really like, we're going to take our time and explain who these characters are, and then we're going to start the actual story, basically.
Yeah.
I'm curious what happens when, like, after we get all 5. Like, where does the story go? Like, we're going to get the 6th Ranger at some point, but I want to know where do we start doing some legacy themed episodes maybe, or are they going to take it in a different direction? I'm interested.
Yeah, it's refreshing to have an anniversary series that goes light on the anniversary aspect.
Yeah.
And it's committed to telling its own story, at least with these first 2 episodes. So I'm all in.
I don't know. I prefer when it gets buried by all the fan service, and then we're just left with like them repeating the same character beats over and over again until they just kind of die.
That's true. All right. Next up, we have Trikob, who says, "So far, I'm enjoying Zenkaiger." Yeah. So
that is true.
Much agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Heroic Gangster, who says, this show is so dang progressive. Having 2 male Kikainoids kiss and fuse on the first day. I mean, battle together. I really dig this episode because it is very event-filled and felt like so much an adventure, this mushroom storyline. This episode is also straight up very flashy and pleasant too, especially with how colorful the world seems like Zenkaiger. Finally, Gaon is straight up me adoring the Kikainoids, but of course in the opposite taste fashion. Psst.
Reverse furry, like Alex said.
Yeah.
So what I think, one, yes, the kiss was funny, but when you think about it, it's also very bold for Super Sentai to do, because they don't usually do those things, even as a joke. So that's cool that they're even going there. Like Kamen Rider can get away with more stuff. Usually Super Sentai doesn't. So that's really cool. Also, what I like about the whole mushroom thing is the way, like the chronology between episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 ends with a cliffhanger with the mushroom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 2 starts and we go back a little bit in time, and then we come to the present with Juron and Kaito showing up to fight. And I like how that, I'm hoping they keep that same idea with the next couple episodes, where like maybe we go a little bit back next time and see what Majin is doing during episodes 1 and 2 kind of more clearly, and then we go back to the present would be cool.
I appreciate how not only do they not use an alternate Earth with a Sentai in it, they also fully committed to it. Like, they changed the sets, they added mushrooms to like all the CG environments, like they went all in, and that's commitment. I appreciated it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, they have the budget for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Ryu Gunno, who says, hello, hello, hello. Sorry, it's been a while since I commented. I've commented, been preoccupied, but I'll let out my thoughts on Zenkaiger so far. First, I would like to preface that Zenkaiger gave me a terrible first impression. Oh no. We always have differing opinions, Ryu Gunno. I mainly hate the direction they went for when it came to the designs. The fact that Zenkaiger was the only human of the team, and the fact that Shirakura is a part of it, just made me a little more worried, but I was still going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it about... Oh no, I don't have the rest of this comment. Alex, could you bring it up?
I'm going to give it about 10 episodes before I decide it's not for me and I drop it entirely.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's wild that we have, like, the diametrically opposite positions on both these Toku shows.
That's kind of where you're going with this show, even from the ground up. Like when the rumors first started of what this was supposed to be, and when I first started hearing Shirakura was involved, I knew what kind of show this was going to be. This is the we need to make a lot of money show. But I'm glad that it's also the we're going to have as much fun as we possibly can show.
Yeah.
And that's going to rub some people the wrong way. And it's going to really work for some people. And I think that's fine. I think this is definitely something that is more geared toward a Japanese audience. I think it would, I mean, and again, there's Japanese fans that I've seen commenting that are weirded out by the designs too. So you're not alone if you're not digging what Zenkaiger's putting out. But I think it's more palatable for them over there, and I think that's the point. I think they're trying to sell as many toys as they can this year, because the COVID did not help with their whole situation.
Yeah,
in any way.
My wallet.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, the rest of Ryuguno's comment. Now, I admit, these first 2 episodes have been fun, and I also do like the Kikainoids characters right now, even though they're basically the Imagine, and the sillier tone that the show has is a benefit. I don't have too Let's just say, other than these episodes were fun, but I'm still cautiously optimistic about Zenkaiger as a whole. It's fun now, but it still has like 40 or so episode slots to piss me off.
Sure,
I mean,
all right.
Also fair. Also fair.
Yeah. Like what you like, dislike what you dislike. I'm not here to pass
exactly.
judgment, but you're wrong. No,
not everything is for everybody.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like for the designs, the only concern I have for them is like for the civilian fights, because like sometimes it can be a little bit too clunky,
Sure.
and like they did have like the benefit of like CG and like a bunch of other effects. I'm not sure like how long they can like commit to that. You know.
Do that.
Yeah.
You know what I really dig in this show? The eye effects. Juron had some good eye effects, and Gowon had some really good eye effects. Yeah. But they really do add a lot of character without having to do much more to the static base. Yeah. So I did that.
What I don't like as much about the aesthetic is that, like, as much as I love the civilian forms they have, and also just the Kikainoids, the other Kikainoids, the way they look, they don't mesh. They don't look like they're part of the same mechanical species.
Yeah. This is true.
I guess that's also, just to be expected, I guess.
Yeah. And you could tell, like, these are obviously going to be our Rangers. The other Kikainoids are obviously not important, just because you can't make them important because you only have a certain budget that you can spend on, rando costumes.
Mm-hmm. Also, bless you, Alex.
Yes, bless you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Muhammad, who has 3 comments for us. So let's see if I have all the text for all 3. After 2 episodes, I've been enjoying Zenkaiger. I love the characters so far. 1, Juron. I love how he dances every time to the jingle, and that's very wholesome. 2, Gowon. He's very humble. I was surprised that he is very racist to his own kind, and my heart felt warm when he said the creatures in this planet are precious. I can't wait if there is an episode of him getting a human girlfriend. 3, Majin. I love how when we see her, she is like a very anxious and nervous person and adorable. And then I don't have the rest of this. Alex, what do you got?
All right. For the first comment for Muhammad.
Yeah.
All right. For Majin, I love how when we see her, she's like very anxious and adorable. From what I know, she strongly believes in magic, which is interesting. 4, Vroom. I felt bad for Vroom as he's always been treated like trash to the villains. I think this season will show how the different classmen between everyone and how the Toji Tendo always rule above them. 5, Kaito. For him, he's kind of like your average and hyperactive leader, which I don't find him annoying. Sechan, I was surprised that the mechanical was the team's mentor for the season, and he's been doing a great job by giving them knowledge of past Sentai teams. Yeah, the gimmick of this season is very great by getting powers from other teams, and I can't wait for how they will get power up. I hope that all of them gets it. Well, for the 6th Ranger, I hope it is a different color, or it could be a combination color. Also hoping for a female human, or maybe just a human to balance out the team a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, and that's for the first one.
Nice.
Did you need?
I won't say things that I know. I would just say, Muhammad, stay tuned.
Okay.
Because I think all of those things are addressed by episode 8 or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Muhammad goes on to say, well, from the looks of this episode, we found out that both the Zenkaigers and the Toji Tendo who uses gears too, and is it a coincidence? Maybe or not, because they seem sus to me. And I think on how they are going to recruit Vroon, I hope he will get 2 episodes where he escapes and will get recruited and later fought alongside the team. This team kind of has a problem of shooting the minions before transforming. I don't think it's a problem at all.
I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
I hope that Vroon actually gets like the biggest shooting of the anime, because he keeps getting shot himself. I just want him to before he transforms. I just want him to take out one of the generals. That'd be so funny.
He just whips out the finisher instead of.
Yeah.
Muhammad then concludes with, "This is a very self-aware of themselves, and I love it. I love the mechs and poor Juron in this episode being ignored." Yeah. All right. Cool. Rounding out your trio of comments, thank you. Let's move on to Double the Unknown, who says, "This is really fun. First time in a while that I'm vaguely interested in Sentai toys too." Nice. It's the toy commercial is working.
Shirakura is pleased.
Yeah.
Buy more gears.
Yeah. Next up. Oh no, that was it. Yeah, those were all the comments. So guys, do you have any more thoughts before we got the hell out of here? It's already been half an hour.
I just real quick, I'll say that I'm really enjoying Zenkaiger. Knowing what's coming, doesn't even really detract from the excitement at all, because I know they're going to do it in a way that's very, very different and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, cool. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Also, while you're here, the link's in the description to where you can find Matt on both Twitter and YouTube. If you enjoy watching these episodes, maybe you want to try it without the subs, because Matt does reactions to those as well. So definitely check those out on his channel. Also, while you're in the description, there are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, and watching videos. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it.
Yep, see ya.
All right.
Later.
I know all the secrets, and it's killing me.
Oh no. we are staunchly spoiler free in this little zone that I've
I kept it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for